I now invite Dr. Michael Hewitt Gleeson to deliver the occasional address. Dr. Hewitt Gleeson was a cognitive scientist and is the originator and author of Software for the Brain. He is an authority on lateral thinking and co-founded the School of Thinking in New York with Edward DeBono in 1974. He has been principal of the School of Thinking in Melbourne since 1988 and is an international consultant on strategy to international organisations and corporations that include such insignificant entities as the United Nations, the White House, IBM, Fujitsu, BMW and General Electric. You would have heard of none of those, I'm sure. He has lectured widely in more than 15 nations in the world, including Canada, China, France, Israel, Japan, Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, and of course Australia. Based in New York for 14 years, the United States government described Dr. Hewitt Gleeson as a national asset. He has been an international consultant on strategy to a veritable who's who of the world's movers and shakers. His new book, The Seventh Hat for Wisdom, will be published this year. Please welcome Dr. Michael Hewitt Gleeson.
Chancellor, graduates, who in the room here has either a younger brother or a younger sister? Just put up your hand. If you've got a younger brother or a younger sister, well, that's quite a lot of people. I think the main purpose of younger brothers and sisters is you can torment them or tease them or bully them or play tricks on them in some way. I had a younger brother and I used to perform scientific experiments on him until he was 16 and about a foot taller than me, and we've been obviously best friends ever since. But the reason I say that, this particular story I want to tell you now is about two young boys, two brothers. One was about 10 years of age and the other one was about 8 years of age. And so the older brother, wanting to play tricks on his younger brother, he pulled him aside one day and he said, "I've got two coins, a $1 coin and a $2 coin." And so the big coin and the small coin. So he went to his little brother, he said, "Look, choose whichever coin you want." So the little boy looked at it and said, "Oh, I'll take the big coin." And off he went. And of course the older brother thought, "This is a terrific trick. Once again I've conquered my little brother." So he went off and he'd get his mates and bring them along and say, "Come and have a look at this." So he'd get his little brother again, and he'd say, which coin do you want? He'd offer him the two coins, and the little boy would always say, "I'll take the big coin." Well, this was a great trick, and the older brother did this trick many times over a period of about 2 weeks, got all his friends and pulled the trick again and again, much to his satisfaction. And of course the parent saw this, and after a while she thought, "I'd better do something, I'd better step in." So she pulled the little boy aside and she said, "What you've got to realise is that the small coin is actually worth more than the big coin." And the little boy said, "Oh, I know that, but if I took that the first time, he'd never offer it to me again." Now, the moral of the story, and it's a nice story because it illustrates that there are different kinds of thinking. There's what we call the black hat thinking and the main kind of judgmental thinking, which we're all very familiar with, which is about avoiding wrong answers and making sure that you get the right answer. And of course that's very important, and we're all pretty good at that. But there's another kind of thinking as well, and that's it's kind of design thinking. It's not so concerned with getting the right answer or avoiding making mistakes. It's to do with outcomes. It's to do with designing the future. It's what sort of future do I want to be in? What kind of outcome do I want? What kind of career do I really need to have? What kind of relationship do I want to have with my partner, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and all the people, of course, that we're associated with and you'll become associated. And that's a different kind of thinking. That's about arranging the information in such a way as to get the consequences, the outcomes, the results that you want. And that doesn't necessarily involve just judging things black or white, right or wrong. So the little boy, even though he was only 8 years of age, he already was well involved in that kind of thinking. So I've spent my career, the last 30 years or so, with the School of Thinking, which is now online, please feel free to visit the School of Thinking at schoolofthinking.org. It's not a commercial because it's completely free of charge and pro bono. And if you'd like to develop your thinking skills, come along and visit the school. But we sent out 1 million thinking lessons last year to School of Thinking members in over 46 countries around the world. And we do that every day by email. And the main purpose is to try and get people to realise that there's not just 6 thinking hats, which was a system that we designed in the School of Thinking about in 1983. And Edward DeBono has gone on and done a wonderful job in promoting that. But there's not even 60 thinking hats. There's not even 600 thinking hats. There's actually probably more than 6 billion thinking hats in the world. Every individual life, every individual person has a point of view and a way of looking at things. And one of the ideas that's valued at Victoria University in graduating, studying and working hard is to try and understand that it's not just our own point of view which is valuable, and it is valuable, but there are many points of view out there. There's many ideas, and it's escaping from our point of view in order to find a much better point of view. That's one of the great tricks of thinking. So I leave you with this little formula. It's not exactly E equals MC squared, but it's not bad. I made it up myself. And it's a definition of thinking. And the way we approach thinking is escape plus search equals think. I'll say it again. Escape plus search equals think. You're escaping from your existing point of view, which is valid and it's good and you've worked hard to get it. But then you search for even a much better point of view, and that's what thinking's about. And of course, in the middle of this formula, in the last 10 years, a $20 billion search industry has popped up. And if it ever occurs to us just to escape from our point of view and to try and find a better point of view, you can do that now at the press of a button with Google and Yahoo and all the other amazing programs that are coming along. So you have certainly escaped from your point of view, and you've worked very hard and studied very hard, and all the background with your family and the work you've done to raise money and put you through this experience. You've worked very hard to find a better point of view. And I hope that this is just the first time you do that, or just the most recent time you do that in your career, and that ahead of you are many times when whatever point of view you're working on, whatever system you're working on, whatever methodology, whatever set of rules, you value those rules, you respect them, but save some of your thinking time to find a better point of view, an even better system, and make some original contribution of your own to your work, to your career, and to those around you. So all I can do is doff my cap and congratulate you, your family and your friends that have supported you, and wish you the very, very best for the rest of your career. Thank you very much.